Hi everyone, so we're talking today about rational expressions and how do we simplify them. First question is, what is a rational expression? So it's a fraction to begin with, so that's a ratio, okay? And then an expression on the top and then another expression at the bottom, that is the composition of what we call a rational expression, that's it, all right? Now how do we go about it? So at this point, we have 2x squared plus x minus 10 over 4 minus x squared. So the better way to go with it is to actually factor them. But what is a common mistake that people make? Somebody can just choose to do what? Take 2x squared, simplify with negative x squared, and then take 4 and 10 and simplify because 2 can go into 4 twice, and 2 can go into 10 also, 5 times. So that would be the common mistake to be made. So then what do? We factor it. So the first thing we do is take 2x squared plus x minus 10 and factor that. So what do we have here? This is the AC method. This is trinomial, 3 terms. So that means we can use the AC method. And we spoke about AC method a lot in our previous videos. So you can go on our channel, YouTube, and then you can find those videos. Or I will definitely link it over here as well so that you guys can have easy access to it. So what do we do with the AC method? We take the A, which is 2, we take the C, which is negative 10, and we multiply them up together. That's why we call it AC method. So we take the 2, and then we take the negative 10, we multiply them together, we have negative 20. So when we have negative 20, what's going to happen? So we're looking for 2 numbers. When you multiply those 2 numbers, you get negative 20. When you add the 2 numbers up, you get positive 1. So your multiplication table is needed, okay? All right, so what are the numbers that we multiply to give you negative 20, for example? So let's go at it very quickly here. So we have negative 1. So we have 1 and 20, for example, 2 numbers. Okay, what else can we have? We can have 4 and 5, which is 20. And then we can have what? 2 and 10, okay? So 2, 10 also is factors of 20. Now, so the question is when you add those numbers up, because we have to, combine with the signs, okay? The negative, the positive. So that means whenever you add them up, you're supposed to get positive 1. So how can you add or subtract 1 and 20 to get you positive 1? There is no way. How about 4 and 5? Yes, that's more probable because when you take 4 and 5, so the highest number got to be the positive, and then the smallest one's got to be the negative 1, because when you combine them, add them up, you get negative 5 plus 5, negative 4, plus 5 is going to give you positive 1, okay? And then, so this one would be the 1, but let's say that 2 and 10 came before that. So is there any way where you're going to add or subtract 2 and 10 to give you positive 1? No way. So this also does not work, okay? So this is the 1. So we go ahead and then we do what? This is equal to, so this is 2, all right, x squared, then negative 4x plus 5x minus 10, okay? So you replace the middle part, the middle term by these 2. Because when you add them up, you end up with what? With positive 1x. So that's the reason why you're doing it, okay? So now you have 4 terms that you split in 2, then you're going to have to factor each of them. So we're using factoring by grouping. Again, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be better if you're not comfortable with this, go back to our previous videos when we talked about factoring trinomials, 3 terms, and then you'll be, fast forward good. All right, so now we're going to use the greatest common factor. What's the greatest common factor here? For this one, that'll be 2 because 2 can go into 2 once, 2 can go into 4 twice. Okay, what about the variables? You have x squared here and then x. We said the lowest power, the variable with the lowest power is always the greatest common factor in these cases. So that'll be x here. So you open it, you divide this by 2x, you divide this by 2x, and what's going to happen to 2 out? X squared and x is x, okay, minus 4 divided by 2, which is what is 2, and then x out, and this is what you end up with. Everybody good so far? And then once you get to the 2 terms here, what's going to happen to this one? So this is plus, the common factor here is 5, okay, is 5. So there's no x because you have x here. There's no x here, so x cannot be a common factor. Are you guys with me? Okay, so you divide this by 5, you divide this by 5, and then you end up with what? X minus 2. What do you see? a common factor here. And that's what we're doing. So anytime you're working with factoring by grouping, you need to have the same expressions, inside the parentheses. If not, you're doing something wrong. So let's go at it and finish it. So we have x minus 2, which is a common factor. And then we have 2x plus 5, which is the second one that we put together. So we finish with factoring the first expression. All right? So top one, we're done with it. So we're going to do the bottom one now. So this is 4 minus x squared. Okay? This one may seem a bit tough, but it's actually one of the easiest one because this one is the special cases. Okay? Difference of two squares. So difference of two squares because this one can be put as 2 squared, and then this one can be put as x squared. Okay? So because of that, so what I'm saying is this can be as 2 squared, which is 4, and then minus this one can be x, then square, and so that's the same thing. So because we can rewrite this problem as one term squared and then the other term squared, so that means this is what we call the difference of two squares. So how can we work it out? So this will give us then 2 minus x, 2 minus x, then 2 plus x. And you're done. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not confident with that, so what you're going to do is take the problem here, multiply, expand it, use the Fourier method, 2 times 2, 2 times x, negative x times 2, negative x times positive x, and then you'll be able to get this one back. So this is how this one can be easy and simple. Again, get back to our previous videos if you need some more help on that. So we're going to go here now and take those answers, all right? Because now the first one is, so this one is equal to then x minus 2 times 2x plus 5. That is over 2 minus x times x plus 2. All right? So these are the factored, answers that we got from this original problem. Okay? So we rewrite the problem, the original problem. This is it. So if you want to, put this one back here so you can see what's happening. Okay? And then this is what we have. Now we're going to simplify. So that's the last step, is to be able to simplify. So the first step is to make sure that you work on the expressions, factor them out. Very nicely done. Finish it. And then once you do that, you can take the answers now and then plug them back into the original equation, original expression. And then what do you do now? You simplify. So let's go at it. So here we see that we have x minus 2 and then we have 2 minus x. They look alike, but they are not identical twins. Okay, so they look alike, but they are not identical twins. But how can we make them identical twins? So we can do that in these cases. How? So now we can rewrite this problem here. The 2 minus x can be rewritten as, let me put it here. So this is 2 minus x. So we can rewrite it as negative 2 plus x or negative x minus 2. Okay, which is just the same thing, okay? Because you pull out a negative sign, because once you multiply, once you apply the negative sign back inside the parentheses, you get 2 minus x back, okay? So it's negative, negative becomes a positive 2, negative and positive becomes a negative because you're multiplying, all right? So let's go at it and see what we're going to have. So we end up with x minus 2 times 2x plus 5 over, so we have negative x minus 2 and then x plus 2. Okay? So that's what we have, so that we can simplify this one. This is great. And then also because we have a positive expression divided by a negative expression, positive divided by negative is what? Is always a negative. So that will give us negative then 2x plus 5 over x plus 2. All right, or somebody also can write it down, apply the negative sign here. So you're going to get negative 2x, negative 5 over x plus 2. So these two are acceptable, are the answers. Okay, so somebody can write it this way, which is correct, and then somebody else can do it also in this way. But now, when you are dealing with multiple choice questions, only one can be right in that sense. So that means only one of these two will be part of your final answers and the correct answer. All right?